Did you know we have the largest private weather forecast team in all of Canada, and they produce over 20,000 local forecasts every day? By the way, have you ever wondered how a forecast is actually created? I think I know someone who can help us out with that.
One of the questions I get asked the most is, how do you make a weather forecast? Well, we have to start somewhere, and we start with something real, and that's what we call observations. And we do this through a number of means. One is our own weather station here just outside the weather network. On a weather station, we have instruments which measure temperature, humidity, wind, as well as pressure. And there are thousands of these around the world. We also use tools such as radar and satellite. And these tools tell us, well, where precipitation is right now, and also where there's cloud cover. Now, all this information is fed into supercomputers at national supercomputing centers around the world, such as in Montreal, Washington, D.C., and Reading in the UK. We need supercomputers to actually do the work of solving these very complex equations. There are equations that are incredibly complicated that no human could solve quick enough to produce a weather forecast. We feed all of this supercomputer data into our own Pelmerex forecast engine and then present that to the forecaster. What we try to do on a daily basis is figure out how well these supercomputers are performing, how well these models are actually handling what's happening in the atmosphere. It's kind of like being a detective. Mother Nature doesn't reveal her plans very easily, so we have to look for clues and try to figure out what's going on. So for example, here's a situation where we're using a tool, this is satellite, to see what's happening with cloud cover. In this case, we have an area west of Edmonton that's mainly clear, but on the computer model, it's mainly cloudy. The computer model is wrong in a few places, so the forecaster will go in and make a change to get a better forecast of the amount of cloud across the region. And we do this with a number of parameters. We do this with the cloud cover, the amount of precipitation that's expected, the temperature, and all of these are building blocks that go into the eventual forecast that you see at home, the icon and the text description of what the weather will be. But there's a lot more to weather forecasting than just the data. Communication is a key part as well. This is where it all comes together, and you see the forecast at home. Our briefing meteorologists take the forecast that's made by our forecasters and communicate that to our on-air presenters, to our on-air teams, producers, news writers, and on-air presenters. They talk about the risk and the scenarios associated with weather, because everyone knows that weather isn't perfect. It doesn't happen exactly the way we think, but we always know what the limits of a given situation will be. And then you see it presented on air, in a package. Very pretty pictures with graphics depicting the weather situation in your area. It's a combination of people behind the scenes and in front of the camera. Science, technology, and people. That's how a forecast is made.